All right, thanks for coming back, you guys. Sandlot Chronicles with my boy Tristan here again.
What up?
Now we can like Tristan. He's not decked out in his Eagles attire, talking about how they're the favorites when everyone knows they're not. Now we get Tristan, the real guy, the cool guy I used to work with. This is the guy.
Keyword used to work with.
Yeah, he used to.
So,
Couldn't cut it anymore. Those NBA trades, those are fire. Those are fire. Which one would call your
some
attention?
blockbuster one.
KD, right?
Obviously the KD one.
Yeah.
The one before that, Kyrie one, going to the Mavs. Also, there's some couple other smaller ones. I mean, as a Warriors fan, no, I'm not a Sixers fan. Okay, just to clarify that, just an Eagles fan, not a Sixers or a Phillies fan. But yeah, I think also the Warriors getting Gary Payton was just kind of cool. I mean, just as a Warriors fan. I mean,
So that was fun. That was interesting. So they ended up getting Sadiq Bey and then ship him off again. That was just
that's
funny.
the blockbuster trade right there.
So it's funny because Sadiq Bey and potentially James Wiseman, but definitely Sadiq Bey is a better player than Gary Payton.
Sadiq Bey, he's on the Pistons as well.
Right, and he's like a longer player. He has like a better potential to impact the ball. The problem is if Steph gets hurt, Poole is a terrible defensive player. If Steph gets hurt,
a liability.
They have no one who can guard point guards, so they needed Payton to guard point guards.
Yep.
So it depends on who's available in street clothes. There's usually some sort of veteran, like Patrick Beverley is probably going to be cut by the Magic.
Sadly, yeah.
So if Patrick Beverley is available, it would have made more sense that instead of trading Bey or all the seconds for Payton to sign Patrick Beverley and keep Sadiq Bey. Because then you have like another Wiggins type player. You can roll out there with like,
and he can guard 2 through 4.
Yeah, you can roll out there with Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Bey, and Looney, and that's just crazy.
Or even Draymond.
Yeah. So like I think if they could have kept, like, I understand you need the person to guard the point guard. I get that. You can't get around that. But I just do think there would have been a better way to address it.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, so the Warriors got better for sure by getting Gary Payton, and that brings like leadership, heart. So it works for them.
Well, it's just another good role player to have.
Right.
I mean, he was a big part of that championship run last year. So I think that was, I mean, obviously that's a smaller trade. There's a bunch of other ones there. And yeah. But no, about the Suns trade, what do you think about that?
Oh man, well, so it's great for the Suns, of course. I really think so. Apparently, they cared about where Kevin Durant wanted to go.
Yeah,
they were like helping him out.
And then with Kyrie leaving too, it's like, why would KD stay there?
Right. So I mean, I think they could have gotten more. Like, I don't think any of those dudes are franchise-altering players.
No.
Like, who are you excited about? Like Cameron Johnson is pretty exciting, but not that exciting.
It's a good role player.
Bridges is really good.
Mikal Bridges is good.
He was like 3rd or 4th ranked defensive player of the year the year before or last year.
I was going to say last year.
So he's a really good player. But I think instead of Crowder, they should have gotten something else, whether it be a Chris Paul or like they could have done an Ayton.
Well, CP's contract.
They could have done an Ayton and Claxton type scenario, depending on where the teams value them. Because I presume they both think
Ayton's a better player. But
so that's what I think as well. So then instead of
Claxton's young.
So instead of Crowder, though, they could have done a Ayton and Claxton swap.
And then also Crowder went to the Bucks.
Right, so that's my point. They're not getting anything out of that. They don't.
They're
like,
not.
Who is their team based around now?
The team is.
Yeah, so they should have instead of Mikal, like gone for Ayton.
Yeah.
Because how do you trade Kevin Durant and not have?
I think they just wanted more draft capital though. First round.
Right.
4 first-round picks is a lot.
Yeah. So they're in like 23, 25, 27, and 29. In 23 and 25, they're going to be awful draft picks. The teams are really good.
Well, also draft picks in the NBA just aren't really. I mean, because
there's only 15 usually. You have to be like a top 15 pick for it to be.
Yeah, and then everybody else is just kind of like you got to
really
do your scouting.
It's not going to be a top 15 pick in the first 2 years. So if in 27, they'll probably still be a good team as well. Like Devin Booker's young.
Yeah.
And so it's basically like praying in 2029 they're an awful team. So I don't.
If injuries were to happen.
If I am trading Kevin Durant, I trade him to like the Hawks or the Celtics. Like I keep saying it over and over again, the Hawks could have traded you Scotty Barnes or OG Anunoby. and you're getting a legitimate star
You
you can
mean
build
the
around.
Raptors?
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, the
The
Hawks. I was
could
like,
have-
wait.
But the Hawks could have traded John Collins. So I did mean to say the Hawks.
Oh,
The
okay.
Hawks could have
got it.
traded John
No, okay,
Collins.
not OG Anunoby.
Yeah. But no, OG Anunoby or Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, from the Raptors.
So I do think Scotty Barnes, they wouldn't have done it because Scotty Barnes is like a 4th overall pick.
Yeah,
They're not
no,
going to give up
he's
Scotty Barnes first
really good
and
upside.
other stuff. Apparently, they were talking about getting 3 firsts for OG Anunoby.
I heard the Warriors are interested in Anunoby as well.
So he's really good. But yeah, I do think they could have gotten some combination of Siakam, Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and something else
Mhm.
for Durant, which would have,
Yeah.
which would have been good for Durant and would have put the Nets in a better situation.
So who do you think won the trade? Obviously.
I mean, obviously the Suns.
Suns,
I don't think they give
okay.
up
All right,
anything.
Yeah.
And I think it could work out fine for the Nets. Like,
We're just thinking scenarios of how the Nets could have gotten.
I just think the Nets, if you're trading a bona fide top, even 20 player in the league, like Donovan Mitchell, you should get something back. Like,
Mhm.
didn't Donovan Mitchell net 4 firsts as well?
Probably, yeah, 3 or 4.
I think he was 4. Gobert was like 3 or 5 or something, right? Gobert was
No, Gobert was 2. To the T-Wolves?
no, dude.
First round draft picks?
Gobert was a lot.
Really? Well, because he has a massive contract. Too. So.
And he's not even, he just got roasted by Jokic the other day.
Well, I mean, dude, Jokic is Jokic. Gobert is fucking Gobert.
So, Rudy Gobert to Minnesota for Patrick Beverly, Walker Kessler, who is really good. Walker Kessler has the 16th most blocks in the first 50 games in NBA history,
Jesus.
more than Marcus Camby. And Jared Vanderbilt, who's now in the Lakers, and that's good. And 4 first-round picks, 2023, 25,
4?
27, and
Shit.
29. The exact
I
same
thought
as
it was
KD.
only 2.
So it's the same as KD. So the KD haul is awful.
Yeah.
Look, it's compared to what they got for Gobert.
Well, also KD is also 35, but still KD is
It's KD,
way
yeah.
better player. So
And so then for Donovan Mitchell, it's Lauri Markkanen, who's also playing incredibly.
yeah.
Rookie wing Ochai Agbaji, who's decent. Colin Sexton.
Oh, you pronounce that good.
Thank you. 3 unprotected firsts and 2 picks offs.
And 2 picks. Okay.
So 3 firsts for Donovan Mitchell, who's like young, but
Mm.
not a true superstar because he's not like a defensive player. So it is like he's more like a.
He's still a superstar.
But he's like he's more like a Sports Center superstar than like who would you rather build around, like Paul George or Donovan Mitchell? Like as fun as Donovan Mitchell. Like if Paul George was a little younger,
Oh, well,
you know
okay.
what I'm saying? Like
If we're talking George, yeah.
even not prime, like even 2 years after his prime. Paul George is just like more of a defensive dynamic player.
What, playoff P shooting 13%?
Oh, he did really? Man,
yeah,
yeah.
that one series.
Yeah.
That was that whole run.
I've always been like a huge fan of like length and like Curry's.
3 and D players.
Yeah, 3-and-D, something where you can like really establish yourself as dominant. I see Mitchell as like a slightly better Russell Westbrook. He just like plays full head of steam and gets
Yeah.
awesome dunks, but doesn't play that well on defense.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And so I like Donovan Mitchell. I'm just saying like Kevin Durant is actually like put your team in a chance to win. One of the 10 best players in the NBA now, one of the 10 best players in the NBA history of all time. Like I know he's 35. He's actually been better since he tore his Achilles and after. Like I took a screenshot, like his percentages are up, his points per
Damn,
game
that's
are
crazy.
up. He's shooting 58% this year, like when actually just shooting the basketball, like catch and shoot, I think it is something like that. Yeah, that's the term, catch and shoot. Shooting like 58%, and the second highest is like 52%.
Damn.
Whereas John Collins, who I'd advocated for being a good person to play with LeBron because he can shoot threes, is actually like one of the worst catch and shoot players in the league this year. So
Yeah.
he's
Well,
someone,
he's not a shooter.
yeah, he's like a dynamic creator. That's what I'm saying. It's like he's someone who needs like the ball in his hand. He's like
Get it in the post.
a Mitchell. He's like more of a name than a defensive team basketball player. He just wants to like dunk.
Also, Collins plays better defense as well. Too.
Collins is an awful defensive player.
John Collins
Yes,
on the Hawks.
on the Hawks. I had him in fantasy. Averages like 0.6 blocks, steal like 0.4 steals a game, and like
Well, yeah, he's not going to
0.9
get blocks, but he's not a slouch on D.
So he's not like good. Like for someone that
Yeah.
athletic.
Well, I mean, I never said he was like.
So he's
great,
better than
but-
Donovan Mitchell.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good in the sense that he's better than Mitchell.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. He's better
Yeah.
than Mitchell, but like
No, he's not. No, he's not like Andrew Wiggins or like
it's also
Paul
like
George or,
Donovan Mitchell is also
Kawhi.
like tasked to guard like Steph Curry, like John Collins is a power forward. He's not a center.
you
He's
know.
not like James Wiseman who has to like learn the intricacies of playing center. He's like an athletic wing who should be able to just be athletic out there and like
Yeah, no,
run into steals and blocks and just like doesn't.
No.
So sorry, I'm like yelling about John Collins not getting steals and blocks. You're
Yeah,
right. He is.
John Collins is a scrub. You hear that?
Yeah, he is a decent defensive player. He's not the shooter that he could be, but you're right. He is billed as more of like an athletic playmaker and does that. But so I guess to my point of the Nets, if you want someone to build around, Collins is that guy. You can
You
throw
can build
lobs to
around.
him. He can play defense. He can create with the ball. He can cut to the basket without the ball. And then I think KD would have thrived in the Nets. Look at that lineup. They would have had Trey, DeJounte, KD.
I knew as soon as it was Harden, Kyrie, and freaking Durant that was going to fall apart. It
Right.
just was set up.
Yeah.
For disaster.
So I mean, to answer your question, the Nets they got enough. They got 1 first for Kyrie,
Could have gotten more though.
4 for Durant. They got 5 firsts, and then players back. I thought they did really well with Kyrie getting Dinwiddie. I was so surprised they got Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, and a first.
Oh, they got Finney-Smith. Oh,
Dorian Finney-Smith is like a
No,
perfect
he's
player
good.
for Luka
He can
Doncic.
shoot the three.
Shoot threes, run
Yeah.
around, play defense, play
Yeah.
40 minutes a game. Josh Green's actually I picked him.
They
up
still
in
got
fantasy.
Alex Wood there, right?
Christian
Or
Wood,
Christian Wood.
and they have
Alex Wood's pitcher.
oh yeah, right. I didn't catch that. And they do have who never plays, always hurt, but they have Tim Hardaway Jr.
Never
Tim
plays,
Hardaway
yeah.
Jr.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the Mavericks. It's an interesting situation.
God, if only they had like Steven Adams or just
Right?
Or
yeah.
just any
a
capable
JaVale McGee,
center.
Yeah,
they do have JaVale. don't
they have JaVale McGee. You're right. I love throwing
they?
JaVale.
Well, I mean, dude, JaVale McGee's been on like 12 different.
So
teams.
he is a capable
I think
center.
this
He
is. So he was on the Dallas Mavericks, I think, for like only like 13 games. I think. Because I was like testing my friend, like, yo, how many like different teams is JaVale McGee on? And
Back
he was
in the
like,
day, he
and I
was,
said in
yeah.
Dallas, and he's like, dude, he was on Dallas. I'm like, yeah, he was for like 13
Yeah,
games.
that's funny. Because I always throw him out as like a rim running center who's like above average. Like, oh, you throw
And he's
JaVale
athletic.
into there. Yeah, he's like so.
he ain't no slouch. So he's a
So
good center to have.
I mean that roster of Kyrie, Luka, whether it be Josh Green or Tim Hardaway Jr. or
Yeah.
something, Christian Wood at the 4 and JaVale is solid, but then now they have no depth. Like that's why
Yeah.
I don't think trading DFS. I didn't think that was gonna be part of it.
And they still have Max Keebler.
So they play that and Davis Bertans. I would have assumed one of them.
Oh, they do have
Because
Bertans.
that's the same
Yeah.
player. You can't have them both out there.
Yeah.
Their defensive liabilities. Luka's not a great defensive player, and neither is Kyrie, and neither is
No.
Christian Wood.
Yeah, they have no defense.
So it's like they couldn't have afforded to trade DFS,
Or at least like the Suns have like good defensive guards.
or they should have gotten someone back from the Nets. Like they should have.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda though.
I'm surprised they didn't like throw in Simmons too. Or maybe they're trying to rebuild with Simmons. Maybe they like Simmons. They must like Simmons. They traded for Simmons.
Ben Simmons. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Any Ben Simmons fans out there?
I love Ben Simmons.
I don't.
I was just saying Simmons would have been great with the Mavs.
And like I said, I'm not even a Sixers fan,
He
but
could-
just what he did there
Well,
was
he can
just
play
like,
the 4 for them now.
yeah, but like it just doesn't work like
You just have to be able to give him the ball, is what it is.
yeah, but it's like even when he has the ball, he's just like gonna want to pass first.
He's-
Like,
so
he's
the-
not looking to score.
The problem is he can score if there's no one
No, he
down there.
can't. Yeah, if there's no
Well,
one
the
to-
problem is,
still has
is
to
that
score
if you have a
create bucket.
center like Embiid has to be by the basket, which draws the defensive center as well.
too many
if you
people in the paint.
Clear out like you do with LeBron, and you put Christian Wood at the center and Simmons at the 4. You put Christian Wood in the corner. You give Simmons the ball.
Yeah.
He can drive and kick to then either Christian Wood, Luka, Kyrie, anybody. And if you don't help, it's then Simmons, who's 6'11", going up against someone who's 6'5", 6'6", or shorter. So Simmons,
Fair
like
point.
it can work. He's been around crowded situations.
He just hasn't been in that perfect situation. Like he literally has to
Right.
be in the perfect situation
Yeah.
in order to thrive.
Well, he kind of is now. It's just him and Nick Claxton.
Yeah, but they don't have. I mean, what they got like Joe Harris and like
Well, all the picks for the future. I mean, because he is still young.
Yeah, but
If they choose to
um,
keep Simmons,
I wouldn't be very comfortable going forward as a franchise, being like, all right, we got to build around Ben Simmons.
I don't know. I think Simmons, Bridges, and Claxton is really good.
I mean, it's a nice little trio, but it's not gonna.
Right, but so you have those picks. You just,
especially in the East.
if you
like,
turn those picks into like two solid players,
that's if though.
right? Totally.
There's nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah.
The potential can be there, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it doesn't happen much. But what I'd like to see in that, so if they have Simmons as the one, Bridges as a wing, and
Mhm.
then Claxton as a center,
Yeah.
that means they need
Well, Bridges
One-
plays at 3.
like a wing, but he could
Yeah.
guard the two.
Yeah, no, he can.
Like he can't play offensive 2, but he can play defensive 2, 3, or 4.
True.
So then you just have to get an actual shooting guard, someone
Yeah.
to play shooting guard, and then just another body to play any of those positions. You could get 2 shooting guards and then play Bridges at the 4,
Yeah.
and then play one of the shooting guards at the 3. So they need one for sure shooting guard, and then a 2, 3, or 4. So basically, when the draft comes around, it'd be fun. They have all those picks. If they traded like 3 firsts
Mhm.
for the 5th overall pick in the draft, and then they can compete right away with Simmons, top 5 pick, Bridges, and Claxton.
Yeah, but do you like as a franchise, you just want to do all that just to compete, or actually go, all in?
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
that's essentially what they did.
That's
by
what I'm saying.
getting
That
Kyrie,
top 5
KD,
pick, depending on
and
how
Harden.
good it is, would be able to make them compete. And like you could build around that top 5 pick. Like this is the Victor Wembanyama draft we're talking about here.
Oh, Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah. So they won't be able to
What
get
is he,
Victor.
7'2"?
He's up to 7'5". He's literally already listed 7'3". There's a photo of him like towering over Gobert.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Jeez.
Yeah.
That
There's
is
like the article, the
absurd.
mock draft I just clicked on here calls him 7'4". But yeah, I would do something. I think especially it depends on what market you're in. Like I like what the Mavericks did because Mark Cuban makes headlines. Dallas is a big city,
Yeah.
so trading for
And you already
Kyrie
have Luka.
doesn't really make them a playoff scary threat because Luka and Kyrie aren't good enough on defense, and neither is Christian Wood.
True.
Like they're gonna get worked. They could beat the Warriors, for instance, if their offense is hot, but like they're not just gonna be red hot. Luka could be. Like it's possible they could just destroy teams. But most likely
Let's just see how the rest of the regular season pans out with the two of them on the
right. So
floor.
that's something I think they're in a position, like I was just saying.
'Cause like you said, they're great offensively, but
They're fun.
defensively.
They're
They're
more fun to watch, like work in progress now, which is what I think the Nets can be if you get that top 5 pick. So
Anyway,
like-
what about the other trades? though?
well, so then I got excited here. So there's the Twins as well in this upcoming draft.
The Twins.
Yeah, there's
I don't know if I follow too much college basketball.
so yeah, so Scoot Henderson is
Scoot Henderson.
and then
I
there's
know.
the Thompson twins, and they're 6'7" ball handlers. So they're projected to go like 3 and 5, and then Brandon Miller's a 6'9" guard forward. So there's like 5
Don't know who that is.
extremely talented top players in the
That's
draft
cool.
this year. The other 2 go to like
Brandon
that.
Miller.
They're overtime elite, and then Brandon Miller's at Alabama.
Oh, whatever.
So basically, with all those picks, they could pop into the top 5 potentially.
Yeah.
Like trade 3 firsts for one of those dudes, and then have Simmons, Bridges, and Claxton. Because basically, we're analyzing the trade for the Nets, but it's hard to analyze without knowing what they're going to do.
True. Yeah.
Because they, I believe, have traded there first, so they can't tank. That's what people forget.
Well, yeah, it's harder to take now.
Well, no, but you can still tank and you still get like a
Yeah,
it's
but
like a
even
top
with the
4 pick. It's like pretty easy to get a top 4
Yeah,
pick.
but it's not. Yeah, it's not easy like tanking it as in the NFL, obviously.
Right, but like the NBA, you do need like kind of top 8 to 12
Because
players.
then you're
So-
still in the lottery.
yeah, you can
so.
still tank and get a top 8 to 10, 12 player who you can build around, which is what they
Sure.
need. Someone, but anyways, the point is they can't guarantee.
No
themselves
guarantee
that.
of yeah.
So they should try and move up in the draft to make themselves a team that can win because they don't have their pick.
No, I agree.
Oh.
You're right.
So basically, it's hard to judge what the Nets did because I think they should have gotten someone better than Jay Crowder. Basically, like they traded him for a reason. He doesn't fit in with what they also
Yeah.
have Royce O'Neal already. They already have that like defensive type player.
Shit.
Yeah. So I think getting Ayton would have been fun. Maybe the contract didn't work out. Maybe the Suns weren't willing to budge, but I don't think the Suns can have that much like, no, we won't give up Ayton. Like they could have gotten Claxton back.
yeah.
So basically, I think that's the one thing I would have changed. Like, I can understand not taking on the contract of Chris Paul, Booker being untouchable, but I think they should be able to pull Ayton. And then the Kyrie trade, I think the Mavs, it's more fun for them. Like they're going to sell more tickets. Luka, they're going to be exciting, Luka and Kyrie. But I think they should be.
That's also no guarantee that they're going to do anything.
Right. Kyrie could be crazy, and then they should have found a way to keep DFS.
But would I be surprised?
I do think the Mavs should have made sure to keep a little defense, basically, is what I'm saying.
If anything, during the trade deadline, I think they just needed more defense.
Yeah.
And then also just get another compatible,
Right.
capable scorer.
Yeah.
Didn't need to go out and get Kyrie, but like you said, it makes it fun.
So then we're talking about making it fun. The Lakers made it fun. First, they got Rui Hachimura, which I loved. They just traded Kendrick Nunn in a second for a dude who went 9th overall, who literally looks almost as big as LeBron out there. He's just a big wing who runs around.
The Obama trade? Or
no, before that, Rui Hachimura.
Oh, right. Yeah, Rui.
That was the first
from the
one.
Wizards.
Yeah. That was a terrific trade.
No, that was a good trade.
That was a terrific trade.
Yeah.
And Shaq,
They still needed to do some
so
other things.
Shaq was
which they
saying you
did.
need to do more. It's like needing to do more doesn't mean that wasn't a terrific trade. People like on that at the time saying, "Oh, this isn't the move they were going to make," but it doesn't mean it's not.
No, he's a good player. He was just on the Wizards. So, but the Rui Hachimura trade was good, and then after that was.
And then they somehow magically pulled in D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt.
I keep thinking Michael Beasley.
Yeah. So Malik Beasley's like a nice combo guard scorer.
Yep.
Can shoot threes, which no one on their team can. They're abysmal at shooting threes, so that's perfect.
They still have Schroeder.
D'Lo is a terrific facilitator. When he came out of college, they were saying he's the best passer they've seen in 10 years out of Ohio State. Like dribbler and passer. Great passer. He can shoot spot up threes. He can take over the game if LeBron is tired. He can take a back seat to LeBron.
Another thing with the Lakers is they don't have great defensive stoppers either too.
They don't at all. No.
So
they just traded Russ.
So
and
if you have D'Lo and Schroeder out on the court to give your other guards rest, then it's kind of defensive liability there. But they do have better scoring though, which is what they.
Well, they also have Anthony Davis and Mo Bamba now. So
the Mo Bamba trade could work out really well.
If you've watched me, you know I love Mo. I love Mo. I've used him in 2K for years. He's a cheat code. He's 7 feet tall with it.
People only knew him because of the Mo Bamba song.
People only made the Mo Bamba song because he has the second or longest recorded wingspan in combine history.
That too. Who's Giannis first?
No.
Bobo?
No, it's him. It's Bamba.
I thought you said he had the second.
I wasn't confident in myself. It's Bamba.
Oh, it is?
He is the longest, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Now it'll be
I think Bobo 7'8" and Bamba's like 7'11".
Giannis is up there too.
No, Giannis isn't very long. Giannis is only like 7'2" or 7'3" or 7 feet.
It's still long though.
Well, but compared to his height, they call it the ape index. It's not much longer than his height. Who's super long is DeJounte Murray's.
DeJounte Murray,
He's 6'4"
as a
with
guard
6'10"
too.
wingspan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But so where were we? Draft next year.
Lakers.
Mo Bamba. Anthony Davis is a 7'6" wingspan. Bamba has a practically 8-foot wingspan. So that's your two. So if they get past the guard, so basically the guard just don't let him shoot threes.
Yeah.
And D'Lo's 6'4", so you just stand there, don't let him shoot threes. If they drive past you, they're driving to 6'9" LeBron with a 7-foot wingspan, AD, and Bamba.
And Bamba, yeah.
So they're not going to put
Got a
up.
good
And then
trio down
Wenyen Gabriel has looked decent.
But I think
Rui
you need.
Hachimura.
I don't think defensively they were struggling in the paint. It was more so on the outside.
Right, absolutely. But so
Above the arc.
you feel more pressure to not let anything happen. And AD's been hurt. And Thomas Bryant's not a great. So if you don't have that anchor down there, you have to not let him shoot threes and not let him drive past you.
Yeah.
Now they just don't let him shoot threes, let him drive past, and just be like, they're not going to dunk on him.
Well, I mean, yeah. But I still think, though, that perimeter defense is just as important as.
Wait, so I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying it's easier when you have the help.
True. Yeah. It's easier. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When you have, because if they go by you, then they're going down there.
Right.
Got it.
So if it's like Tracy McGrady, no, Tracy McGrady is still going to come
Teammate.
dunk on Mo Bamba. But most likely, if you're playing against the Suns and it's Devin Booker.
And it's Devin Booker.
Devin Booker's not just going to. He's 6'6".
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But he's not going to come and fly over those fools either.
No.
He's going to try and do a soft floater in traffic, and Anthony Davis is going to be right there. So
Now it's John Morant is different.
Yes, so John Morant will give them struggles, but they will also give John Morant struggles with their size. They don't have anyone to guard LeBron James.
Yeah, no, they don't.
So
No, what do you mean, Dylan Brooks?
yeah, so the Grizzlies don't compete. I think the Lakers state is like incredible. I think it's such a cool roster overhaul.
Yeah.
Lonnie Walker's good on defense now, so I think Malik Beasley's not much of a defender.
They're
as you
getting
said.
better, but you can still have all this talent and not, you got to be able to mesh together. Have
Totally.
chemistry. I mean,
But like,
definitely another big part.
yeah,
But no, their roster definitely is much better now.
much better.
It's not like a laughing stock.
Right.
So
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So then Thomas Bryant went to the Nuggets, which is good, just some extra help.
Clippers also made some interesting moves.
Bones Highland, by the way, leaving the Nuggets is weird because Murray's always hurt.
Yeah,
That is a head scratcher.
because he was a good player.
I don't think
coming off
Bones
the bench.
Highland to Thomas Bryant.
Because he's lengthy too.
I don't know how much sense that makes.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
done that. I was probably definitely because of money, probably. But I mean, I don't think he was getting paid that much.
Well, this
but-
year it's about winning. So like for a future
Yeah.
move, it's not like Thomas Bryant's like a future asset. It's that I guess they think they have some backup guard who can, because it is tough to find competent big men. Thomas Bryant can
True.
rebound. He was doing really well in
No, he
fantasy.
was doing good.
He can hit threes.
But I still think Bones Highland would get more out of him though,
Right, but I think it might be like the value over replacement type situation.
because like he's not some short guard coming off the bench.
no, he's not, but he's also not a great defensive player.
True.
So like Bryant does everything, whereas Bones Highland's more explosive, and you can run the offense through Jokic. So thinking about it that way, if you can run the offense through Jokic, you want your point guard to be more like a Ricky Rubio defensive player.
It was basically just a neutral trade. Didn't help. He didn't hurt you.
Actually talking it out. I think it makes more sense now than I did a second ago because I'm thinking you want that point guard facilitator. But if you have Joker being the facilitator,
Doesn't really matter.
yeah, then you want a defensive point guard.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. Maybe they have some other point guard.
If you
I mean,
got
they can
someone
also-
like Fred Van Vliet.
Yeah, they also can
That'd
run
be
point
different.
guard list sets. They can run out there with Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. One of them is a guard.
Yeah. I don't know. Clippers though, going back to them.
Yeah, you were concerned that they were losing too much with
because they lost Luke Kennard,
yeah.
and then they also lost Reggie Jackson, which I think Reggie Jackson's a great player.
And John Wall. I've always loved Reggie Jackson.
John Wall's contract though
Yeah.
was just
Reggie Jackson's an explosive 6.
they didn't need John Wall was just
Yeah.
a little kind of just a nice piece to have. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't. I mean, he's not a scrub, but like he's just not the same John Wall player that he used to be.
Right.
So I think losing him was like, all right, big contract. I think he got traded back to where did he get traded to? John Wall? Did he get traded back to?
So he got back to the Rockets.
Rockets,
They're
yeah, for Eric
joking
Gordon.
about not playing him.
Yeah.
What I don't get, I just realized is, wait, if they got rid of John Wall and
Reggie Jackson.
who the hell is their point guard?
Hold.
What?
It's no, it's oh, why am I blanking on his name? Didn't they get Matisse Thybulle?
Oh, well, that's not a point guard, but that'd be cool if they did.
But he can still run guard. Oh, okay, that's true. Wait, did Matisse Thybulle?
Oh, did they get Bones Highland?
Yeah.
They got Bones Highland.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why. Okay,
Yeah.
No, but before they got
Oh, they have
Bones
Terrence
Highland-
Mann also.
Yeah, I was about to say Terrence Mann. That's
Okay,
the guy I was thinking
okay.
of. I was thinking of Tyrese Maxey for some
Right.
reason.
So their point guards are Mann.
I was going to say
Highland.
they had somebody before they
Yeah.
traded. Reggie
Shooting
Jackson.
guards are PG and EG, which is dope.
Yeah, Eric Gordon. Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard and Powell as the small forwards. And then Marcus Morris Sr., Batum, and Covington as all 3-and-D similar type player
Yeah,
forwards.
Covington's great.
And they got Mason Plumlee as well.
Yeah, Plumlee was the third guy they got. So
So they got Plumlee and Zubac. So they have a really good team on paper. The defensive, they have a like kind of defensive point guard with Mann, and then more of an explosive one with Highlands. I really like that pairing. That's fun. I like having like different sets you can run.
yeah,
And then Zubac, the big bruiser, and then Plumlee, a little more skilled. So that's actually like a really good roster construction for the Clippers. And they have depth if PG or anyone has to miss time. So
they
I
still
think,
got Zubac, right?
yeah, they still have
Yeah.
Zubac. So I think it's really good for them. If you want a fantasy tip, Mark Williams. You know who that is?
Heard of him.
He played basketball at Alabama, 7'2". He's like similar to Rob Williams type play.
Okay.
Just runs and blocks and gets dunks, but he's 7'2".
Oh.
So Franklin
No, I've probably heard his name just watching a game. But
so he's on the Hornets now that Plumlee's not there. He's like going to be starting.
Oh, that's
he's
why.
going to be running
On the Hornets,
around with
Seattle.
LaMelo. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, they also got another guard. Who did the Hornets got another guard?
Did they?
Yeah, they did. Search it up. I forget. Hornets got somebody. And I'm like, they have LaMelo. They have Terry Rozier. They just have so many guards.
Why would they get another guard?
I forget who it was.
Oh, look, I mean, they got someone. They traded Plumlee. They would have gotten someone from the.
But they got somebody. Forget who it was.
Yeah, I just searched NBA Draft Tracker being all spacey instead of Trade Tracker.
Draft.
The Raptors finally got the center they needed, getting Jacob Poeltl. That was a big one.
Yeah, they got wait.
I remember I was talking about them in one of the previous episodes. They had like this whole team of six. When that was
Yeah, they got Reggie Jackson.
okay. They got Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember one saying.
Yeah, and I'm just like, damn, they have Reggie Jackson, LaMelo, and Terry Rozier.
I previously discussed, KD going to the Raptors, saying it makes sense, as I said, to trade OG or Scotty Barnes.
Yep.
But then they didn't have a center. I remember saying like, why they have all these 6'9" dudes and no 7-footers. So it really made sense for them
You
to
just have a
get.
bunch of 4s and 3s. Basically.
Made sense for them to get Poeltl. That was really good. So now their roster is Poeltl at the 5, Siakam at the 4.
Jakob.
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy at the 5.
Who did you go to again? Sorry.
What?
Blanked out. Who did Jakob go to?
The Raptors.
Raptors, right.
So he's their 5, and then
Yeah.
Siakam's the 4.
Siakam.
Scotty Barnes and OG. Like, how does it even work now?
And they still
Does
have
one of
Van
them
Vliet,
come
but
off the
they're going to
bench?
probably trade him.
Well, they can't trade Van Vliet. The trade deadline just expired.
Oh, right. That was today. Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was till tomorrow. Never
Yeah.
mind.
No, so they're keeping Van Vliet and Gary Trent. That's their 1 and 2.
Yeah, Gary Trent Jr. Forgot about him.
And so then now they've added Poeltl. I guess Siakam was starting at the 5, and Barnes and OG were 3 and 4, and now one of them is going to get put to the bench. Technically,
Siakam was their 5? I thought it was the 4.
so he like maybe a Chewy while was playing the 5 and Siakam was the 4. But if you think about it,
Oh.
they have Scotty Barnes and OG. They're kind of both 3-4 mixes.
Mm-hmm.
And if they both start, then
Yeah.
So you have all those length, you have all those 6'9" guys, but then someone needs to be tall enough to be
Where are the
center.
Raptors in the NBA standings?
Yeah. But so yeah, if I were them, I would bring Scotty Barnes off the bench. OG's defense is too good to bench him.
Oh yeah, no, you're not benching.
Or you could bench Gary Trent and have OG could guard shooting guards. He could go down and guard the 2. So that could work too. Have Gary Trent come off the
That
bench.
was Toronto's in 10.
Actually, who am I kidding? I like height. I'd go crazy. I'd bring Van Vliet off the bench. I'd put Gary Trent as your starting point guard.
Yeah, but Van Vliet gives you shooting.
Right, but so you start Van Vliet on the bench. You put Gary Trent as your point guard.
So Van Vliet's your 6 guy.
And then so when you have the bigs in, when you have Poeltl at the 5, Siakam at the 4, Barnes at the 3, and OG at the 2,
Mhm.
one of them and Trent at the 1,
Yeah.
one of them is gonna have a size matchup. Most likely Barnes, OG, or Trent.
Probably OG, but
Probably OG.
Yeah.
So he'll just run the offense through OG, and he'll just dominate the smaller shooting guard for a few minutes. And then after a few minutes, OG's tired.
And then
You
they
pull
put in-
OG, and then you put Van Vliet back in.
yeah.
That's what I always would do with Ben Simmons too. I was like, put Ben Simmons in, dominate with him at the point guard for a few minutes, and then take him out.
Define dominate for Ben.
Well, in
Simmons.
2K, Ben Simmons, you can dominate anybody.
Yeah, but that's
but-
2K. They
Right, but
also had Dak Prescott winning MVP and throwing 50
Right, but I mean,
touchdown
the Raptors can do that in real life. Like OG Anunoby is extremely talented. So is Scotty Barnes. So is Siakam.
and Dak can throw 50 picks.
He can. And nowadays, as a 4, Siakam's a really big 4.
Yeah.
If he's a true,
No, he is.
yeah, he can. Like he'd be going against Jason Tatum if they play the Celtics.
And he's
sometimes.
athletic too.
Yeah,
And he can
so,
shoot.
So other trades, the Warriors. We talked about that. The Lakers. I'm surprised Memphis didn't do anything.
Yeah. Actually, wow, that didn't even cross my mind. Yeah, Memphis actually, I don't think.
Also, we said they have no one to guard LeBron. They have Jaren Jackson, who like leads the league in blocks per game. He
Yeah,
can
he's
guard
good.
LeBron in the block, but he can't guard him up at the top of the key.
Yeah, agreed. You know, he ain't guarding him on top of the key. No.
Yeah.
Bron's just gonna blow away Brian.
I feel like that team has always lacked like that dynamic athletic forward. Ever since they lost Rudy Gay, like they've just been having like Tony Allen's and like Dylan Brooks
Tony
and
Allen.
Desmond Bain.
Tony Allen was a good ass defensive
Like,
player.
there's a photo. He was amazing. There's
Yeah.
a photo of Desmond Bain shooting a free throw, and he's all jacked. So it's like his arm looks like huge and short. He looks like a T-Rex. He's like one of the few people in the league who has shorter wingspan than his height.
Yeah.
He's like 6'5" or 6'4" and has a 6'3".
No,
or
Memphis
6'4"
was good,
wingspan.
but they just all they do is talk shit and they just
Yeah.
haven't won anything. It's
Right.
it's just funny. Did you see the story that came out about Morant's brother? He got like banned from the arena lifetime or
No way.
a year. So it was I think they were playing the Pacers a few nights ago. Yeah, I think Memphis won that game, but there was a bunch of shit talking going back and forth. And then after the game, the Pacers are exiting the arena, going into their bus, probably back to the airport or hotel or whatever. And then John Morant is in a car with his like buddy. Apparently, John Morant before basketball was like hanging around a bunch of people that probably weren't great, you know, people to
Yeah.
hang around. And I think he just invited him to the game because it's just like homeboy from, you know,
Right.
back in the day or whatever. So I think Jaw was driving like past the Pacers team bus, and then his buddy pointed a laser at the bus, and there was security on the bus,
Yeah.
like pull the bus over or like whatever, like
Oh,
that could
man.
be a gun,
Yeah.
you know. I don't know if it was. I don't know the whole report, but there was just a story about it, and so yeah, and then so the Grizzlies found out about this, and they gave John Morant's buddy 1 year ban out of the stadium, whatever. And John
Oh,
Morant like
man.
tweeted something out like, "Yo, like people like misunderstand the situation. Like that's my homeboy. Like
That's
I don't know why you're
hilarious.
doing this." And I'm like, Jaw, you have so much more to lose than gain.
Right.
Like I get it,
I
you want to
mean-
invite your dude, but like he's representing you in
Yeah.
a sense because it's like you got to tell him to be on your best behavior. Like you have
Especially if he's
sponsorships,
with you,
endorsement
yeah.
deals. Like
Yeah.
it's just not funny to point a laser. Like
Right.
it's just like, especially since I think he was in a gang. Like I don't know. So
And yeah, you're like a 21-year-old
I think-
kid knowing this. Like Jaw is like old. Actually, I guess he's not that much older. He's like
Yeah.
23 or 24 and has been through a lot of life,
Dude,
having millions.
so
of
many
dollars.
people would rather be an NBA star than be in a freaking gang.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
It's not
I don't know if he was personally involved in the gang, like
Right.
growing up, but that's what I heard. But
It actually just came out
Interesting
that Chad Johnson
Ocho?
has saved like 90% of his money because he bought fake jewelry. All that jewelry he had was all fake.
Oh yeah, no. I
So
know
he
that
just
guy.
has tons of money saved up. He's like tips waiters like thousands of dollars. He's like, not the kind of guy you would have thought would have saved
the
his
complete
NBA check.
opposite of what Allen Iverson did.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
And also what you'd think he'd be like a typical diva receiver, and he's actually not. He doesn't really get into trouble. He just likes to have fun and play soccer.
yeah.
I know you got to get going pretty soon.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get going.
So what if did we? Oh, Cam Reddish got freed. He scores like 20 points a
Yeah.
night always whenever he gets played, and he got traded to.
the Knicks got rid of him?
Yeah, the Knicks got rid of him. Where did he get traded to?
Oh wait, no,
He
Cameron
got traded
was
to
on the
Portland.
Hawks, wasn't he?
He
Or-
was on the Knicks and this year for sure, and played in the beginning, and then they stopped playing him. And then everyone like the Twitter's all like free Cam, bless you. And yeah, he
Thank
got
you.
traded for Josh Hart.
Oh, that's right.
Josh
yeah, I saw
Hart had
Josh
like
Hart
30
one day.
minutes a night. So he's moving into a situation in Portland where their teams also always needed dynamic wing defenders. Like it's always been like Jurkic and then Lillard and a small guard. It's
Yeah.
like they got Jeremy Grant, but now they have finally another offensive presence. So that actually takes out
Wait, Jeremy Grant's on? I thought he was
he's
on the
averaging
team.
20 a game. Yeah. So that's a pretty solid lineup now. And Lillard, yeah, I know, struggling.
Freaking allergies, man.
Lillard kills it. Anthony Simons is a fucking microwave. Dude can drop threes any moment. And then Cam Reddish and
Forgot they
Jeremy
had
Grant
Anthony Simons,
are
yeah.
both 6'8", 6'9", can play some defense, score some buckets, and then Nurkic.
Mhm.
So that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
It's better than Josh Hart. You know, Josh Hart's just a scrapper and like a stopgap.
Josh Hart doesn't really scare anybody. I don't
You
think.
were mentioning like a stopgap quarterback last time, and we talked about like a Ryan Tannehill or like that's not really like a bridge quarterback. Like
You were saying Mariota,
yeah, like Mariota's more an example. Exactly, that's like the kind of guy.
Jameis Winston.
Josh Hart is not Jameis Winston, whereas like Cam Reddish is actually like that could be our guy in the future. He was
True.
like
I mean, yeah, he was high going out of Duke.
absolutely. So like that's exciting.
I mean, it was him, Zion, and
Reddish.
Well, no.
Oh, it is Reddish. RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett. Yeah,
Which is the reason why it's so bad he didn't play. They're like teammates again this year. They should have been able to run out those two, but Thibodeau's like obsessed with defense, and I guess just butted heads with Cam Reddish a little bit.
Yeah. Thibodeau doesn't have the same Bulls team that he had back.
I know. Yeah, you can't treat kids like that. It's tough.
You can't treat kids like that.
Yeah, nowadays the TikTok kids.
TikTok, man.
Yeah.
Cancel culture. All written on it. So, all right. Well, I gotta get going, but
Oh yeah, that was good.
it was good to talk some basketball. So
Absolutely.
I haven't been able to do that here. So
If I didn't express it, I'm excited about Mo Bamba. Like I'm so happy he's on national TV now, like Lakers. Like he's been playing in freaking Orlando.
yeah, Magic, cool uniforms, but
Oh, that's what I wanted
great
to
team.
ask you. Another fun one I would have thought. I always think about trading AD, like because if the Lakers hadn't pulled all this crap, they just been a regular team without getting free players. Like,
Mhm.
like I don't have no idea how they got D'Angelo Russell for free, which worked out cool for the Timberwolves, by the way, because now they have Conley and Gobert, who are good defensive players,
Mhm.
and then Anthony Edwards does both. So offensively, they have Anthony Edwards and Cat, and
Yeah.
defensively, they have Anthony Edwards, Conley, and Gobert. So I actually really like it for them.
Mike Conley, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's there to replace D'Lo.
Yeah.
Because before you had D'Lo and Cat, who both don't play defense. You can't
Yeah.
have two people not playing defense. It doesn't work.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So I actually think that worked out kind of well for them. I just don't get how the Lakers. But anyways, the Lakers getting a free player. I thought it would have been fun to trade Anthony Davis for Miles Turner and something, because the Lakers like needed shooting. So you could have gotten
Miles Turner's good.
You could have gotten like Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, and like a couple firsts or something.
Yeah.
Because now the Pacers just are like, what are they building around? Like,
Yeah, but LeBron literally wants Anthony Davis. They're not going to trade him.
yeah, well, I also didn't see him getting a whole team for free. Like, if
No.
he hadn't gotten this for
The whole
free,
team
they'd
for
be
free.
sitting in a really bad situation right now.
Yeah, especially if Russ was still on the roster too.
Right, yeah. It's really fun that Russ is there, actually, because his usage has gotten better. He wasn't as toxic and taking awful shots, but he is another body out there who can't shoot threes. And LeBron does need to
Yeah.
be surrounded by three-point players.
True. Yep.
So it is another loss for Thomas Bryant because, like, it's nice. Like, they added a Jared Vanderbilt who can't shoot threes. Maybe he can.
No, well, I mean, they can all shoot threes. They just like
Right.
whether or not they're comfortable
Comfortable.
doing it. So,
We'll find out. Thanks for listening in, guys.
all right.
This
Thank
young cat's got to go to class.
you. Peace. Oh.